Hello and welcome to the B Button, episode 24. Yeah, baby. I am your host, Baron Marf, and joining me, as always, is my compadre in arms, the legend himself, the one, the only, Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Yeah. Same as ever, really.
Ready to rock and roll? Ready to do this?
Yeah. Stomp on through.
Big week. Big week.
Yeah, it's been a funny week. There's been some funny old bits and bobs happening. But yeah, it's obviously Gamescom.
Yeah, man, big Gamescom. So, what about yourself? Have you been doing much gaming this week? What have you been doing?
Gaming side, just been a few games really. Happy Dungeons.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously,
cool.
Been trying to get the daily logins on that, and
how's that been going?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a bit of a grind. The levels are starting to get a bit better.
Are you noticing like any benefits to your levels up? I mean, like major benefits, or is it just like I can carry a bit more weight, I can finally put that shield on or something?
You just get better drops.
Okay.
Like I'm getting, obviously I think I'm level 10 or something like that, or level 9, and I'm getting stuff that's level 20 drops. So it's it's one of those. It's a grinding game that it's always urging you to try and spend money, but it's free. So if I don't care.
Just hold that iron will and be like, no, you're not having my money.
Yeah,
no.
That's it.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
Just stuff on my mobile, really.
Okay.
Alto's Adventure.
Yeah, baby. Alto's Adventure is amazing.
And then a couple of the old Kairosoft games. Legends of Heropolis.
What's that?
It's a bit bullshitty. Just sort of collect a team of people together, and you've got to build your base and fight crime. It's
What style of gameplay is it?
It's all turn-based stuff basically, okay. And then obviously you get into little sort of like old school RPG battles. You've got different. You can attack on timers, and it's a bit like some of the older Final Fantasy style. It's all right. It's not
Put much
great.
time into it.
A few hours, I suppose, but nothing really too
noteworthy.
No. Just wait until it gets to that point where it gets to the barrier and it urges you to spend money, and then it's probably gone.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Well, I normally give most mobile games about a month on my phone. If I play them once and don't play them again, then I'll just
delete.
Yeah, that's it. It's just space that I don't need.
You saying Alto's Revenge? Try again.
Alto's Adventure.
Alto's Adventure. Thank you. That's a very mellow game. That is.
It can be. Once it starts to get a bit faster, it gets a bit intense. But then you've got the old Zen mode, which you can do so it doesn't crash out on you. And yeah, it's a good fun game though.
I mean, for those who don't know, it's kind of you compared it to Little Wings.
Yeah. Well, it's one of these, like you say, it's downwards, an endless runner, but obviously on a snowboard, going down a mountain. The initial start off is you've got to chase and catch your reindeer.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just a thing that you collect to get points up to get your, I think, multiplier up it is. Gets it up. But no, it looks brilliant. It is a really, really pretty game because there's a day and night cycle in there. It's got the screenshot mode and everything. I've saved a few already on my phone. It just does look brilliant. It plays great.
Good game. For anyone who hasn't tried it, do just download it. Well worth the download. Cool. Anything else this week?
No, just been chewing through some more anime. I found some series that have completed, so it's closure and it's a story and complete done.
Well, as in, I've watched it, it's got to an end,
and it is the end. There's Finn, everything. There was Charlotte, that was about fucking kids that had abilities.
Okay.
And they got to try and avoid the man.
Yeah.
Or the scientists.
Right.
Yeah, that was cool. So there's obviously it's Japanese anime, so there's always that element of annoying parts to it. But no, it was good. Some good characters. It was really, really well drawn.
Cool.
Anime, but a couple of others that are not really that noteworthy.
Yeah.
But they were done and finished. So
done.
I don't have to worry about them
I'm
over
alright
again.
with that. I've got closure on it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
What about yourself? I see by the list in front of me that it's been a busy week.
Yeah, I've been dancing around lots and lots of games. Although strangely, I feel like I've been spending most of my time on mobile games. But yeah.
Well, you got your controller, didn't you? What you were saying earlier, that it's all unified to a single control scheme, something that they've been asking for Game Center.
Yeah,
from
just
Apple
iOS
for
have
years.
always, Apple have always been funny, where they're just like, no, believe me, it's fine on the screen. Just use the screen controls. It's like, no, it's not fine. I need a controller. And what ends up happening is everybody brings out a controller, and they're all on a different sort of format of Bluetooth or something.
Yeah.
And it just
In the same sense that why don't Apple just bring out a controller?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
got a touchscreen in it as well.
Yeah.
A la DualShock 4. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for me.
But the crazy thing with it is that they haven't sanctioned this. They haven't gone like, this is the control scheme. What they've done is they've gone, it's on our website as an accessory.
Yeah.
Which is kind of enough for everyone to go, get it, that's the one, get it. And you're quickly seeing games drop, even now, like new releases, where it's already compatible and it's working, and it works really well. I've gone back to some older games like Shark Evolution.
Yeah.
The controls to have like an actual analog stick.
Yeah.
So when you get surrounded by bait, you're just like,
So,
amazing. Yeah. So me, it's been things which kind of support that. I've been kind of looking for those games.
Well, that you would. It look really good, but then you
And
try
you
and
wanna
play it on a
play, yeah.
mobile, on a little screen, or even an iPad, and
It just doesn't work.
the thing is, like, the actual to press the button itself's fine. It's the analog or D-pad that you want. That's the one thing that you need.
There's no level of control there.
No.
You just, what you find yourself just your thumb drifting all over the screen, trying to just hold the direction you want to go, or try and run that bit faster.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. But yeah, so I've been on Legend of the Skyfish, quite a new download. Feels very, very Zelda-esque. But look
very Zelda-esque, but obviously with greater fidelity of
it's kind of cartoony. Say the artwork's sort of similar to Broken Age, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, really pretty. Quite basic controls at the moment, so I'm getting used to it. I'm finding it a little bit basic, but I'm going to play through that a bit. The one I was still playing Severed, which I mentioned last week.
Yeah, it was on that came out on the Vita.
But the one which has just absorbed loads and loads of my time, and what a surprise! It's by Devolver. Reigns. It's really, really good. It's basically just a simple card-based game, and it's really simple in the fact that somebody will appear in front of you. Maybe it's the executioner, or it's the local
basically
jester
like Tinder, isn't it?
Yeah.
But a video game Tinder. It's sort of like, yes, you want to do it, no, you don't.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. And you just play as the king, and you've just got to make decisions, and you've got to keep like the population, the army, the church, and the treasury all in order, as in keep them all to a certain level. And each action obviously has a detrimental or positive effect on it. But the clever thing about it is it doesn't say if you do this the army will be pissed at you. It just says something, and you kind of have to work out whether would that cost me money to. So like,
what's this gonna? What is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah, and you get the the head of the church, the priest, just coming up to you saying, or the cardinal, whoever it is, just basically coming up to you and saying, right, okay, I want to do something to honour your dead father, and you're like, okay, but immediately you watch your money just go down and the church go up, but the people don't like it, but the army does, and you're like, how was I supposed to know that? But yeah, well worth a play. And then just lots of jumping in real quickly on the Xbox sort of games. So we were chatting the other day about like what fucking muppet would go out and buy Transformers Fall of Cybertron, the re-release on the Xbox One, especially if they had it on the 360. Hi, my name's Baron Marf, and I like to play video games. So bought it. It's done. I must admit, they've taken a bit of time with this, and they really, made an effort to get it wrong. Stupid things like it stutters in between, like in conversation loading bits, and you're just like, what? It didn't have this in 360. Why is my Xbox One choking on it?
Yeah.
So that was a bit abysmal. Call of Duty Black Ops 1.
Yeah. It was the best one.
Picked up a dirty copy for £8.50, and believe me, that disc is dirty, but it runs, it's installed, and it's playing, and Yeah, solid. Really enjoy going back to that. And then just loads of other little odds and sods, but no Pokemon Go.
Good start.
I'm proud to say that. Right, anyway, enough of the gaming plethora that I've been through this week. Let's hit some of the news, and we're going to split the news up a little bit this week. We're going to have some general odds and sods, and then mostly it's just games gone.
Yeah, pretty much. That is the news.
Yeah.
So I suppose we should just
hit into our first one.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So we could talk a little bit about the Star Wars Battlefront, which this DLC that we could not really get a name for.
It's just everywhere it was showing up as the Death Star DLC. Obviously, we've had the Outer Rim.
Hey.
It's better than the Inner Rim, though.
Yeah.
And then Bespin, obviously, that released a few weeks. That's now out.
Yeah.
So we've got the Death Star DLC. It's actually the only one that's made me look at it and think, yeah, I could get into Star Wars Battlefront and just play that, because there's the new mode, which is Battle Station.
Right, okay.
So obviously it's a fight that takes place across 3 phases. So the first phase is obviously space-based. Yay.
Cool.
Space fights.
Finally. The one thing that everybody's been screaming for since day one, basically.
Yeah. So it's the Rebels, X-Wings and A-Wings against the TIE Fighters and Interceptors. With the Rebels, obviously you've got to destroy as many or a set amount of TIE Fighters.
So many tickets, basically. Yeah.
To allow the Y-Wings to get through an attack on the Star Destroyer. So once you've obviously completed that, the second phase is on foot, and the aim is then to extract a droid in the form of R2-D2, who will be playable in this mode, in that part.
Ooh.
And obviously Kenny Baker's obviously died now as well.
Sorry to see him go. The living, beeping legend.
Like you say, he's kind of lives on still.
It does indeed.
But yeah, you've got then obviously rescue him from the innards of the Death Star.
Oh right, okay, fair enough.
Then, so obviously once we've completed that, we move on to the bit that everybody wants when we mention the Death Star.
It's the run, isn't it?
It's the trench run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is when Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader will be available. Obviously Luke being on the attack and Darth Vader being on the defence, and it's just a case of you then have to destroy the Death Star. So it's looking better.
So it's time to practice our Womp Rat bombing then, is it?
Yeah, basically, hopefully.
Cool.
So yeah, that should be sometime in September, because I couldn't actually, looking around, I couldn't find a date.
Yeah,
sometime, yeah. So, but it actually looks like it might be worth having a crack at, or at least finding somebody else who's got it and playing it around their house.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's also been a few. It's all betas this week, isn't it? For like general news.
Yeah. Well, obviously we've seen a lot of the big games that we know. Obviously, you've got Battlefield, Titanfall 2. Yeah. Obviously, Steep. They've announced their beta. Well, sign-ups anyway. There's no date on that one. But
I tried signing into that earlier on, and it was just.
I'd probably just actually go through a laptop.
Yeah. God damn it.
But yeah, so that was looking good. So obviously Titanfall, we've obviously seen a bit more of that at Gamescom with a few trailers and videos and whatnot, and talking from various peoples. But there's been a technical test, obviously this weekend. But
is that what they're calling it?
Well, it's not really a beta. It's just, I suppose, it's just a stress test, just to see how the servers cope. And is this the power of the cloud?
Yeah.
Where all your data files are stored.
It's a technical test.
Yeah.
This has been a technical test for like the last 6 months.
But yeah, so there is also going to be one next weekend as well. So if you didn't get a chance to play it,
get that.
Then you should get be able to have another crack.
We've got a random bit of news that somebody just was like, "Hey, Halo Wars 2." The beta sometime next year, 2017.
Yeah,
we're going to do another one. So, okay,
yeah,
cool, good for you.
Yeah, and then obviously got the Battlefield 1.
Yeah, I think that's the one that everyone's really interested in.
Obviously, by the time you probably already, if you're interested to get in on the early beta, then you'd have obviously signed up by now, and probably heard from them. But there will be an open beta on the 31st of August.
Cool, so not too long to wait.
No, end of the month.
Sweet. So, I mean, it's been a week of, like, general, like, betas being announced. And
obviously Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big uproar about that, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, it's currently 6.5 to 1 ratio, sort of dislikes to likes.
Good effort, guys. I mean, what is this? So it's Metal Gear Solid Survive.
Yeah.
Sorry, Survive. And what's the premise behind this?
Wormhole, alternate universe, zombies, survive.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, it was a pre-rendered trailer. There was I don't think, any gameplay, really.
And basically, the fans have just been like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I mean, looking at... Because I was saying to you earlier, before I saw the ratio, I was saying it's probably about 70% of the comments I was seeing. It was just like, people like, meh, fuck Konami. What are you doing? Meh, meh, milk it. We've seen this all before, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then there's 30% are like, yeah, I'll probably give it a crack. But a Konami representative obviously has tried to not stoke the flames this time, but try and sort of douse them.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a full price $60 game. So
it's going to be $55.
Yeah, I think you probably it was a full player co-op though, so it could prove to be alright.
Well, I mean, I'm always interested when people mix it up. You know, lots of people bitched about things like Resident Evil, Raccoon City Operations, or whatever it was, and I don't mind it. It's not a Resident Evil game, but it's worth a bit of gameplay and a bit of fun with your mates.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea and the premise of the latest one that they're doing with the backpack that obviously keeps the zombies away, so you can shoot that out and just watch someone get swarmed.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You want to see him try stuff. You can't just stick to the same old mould.
Yeah, you said this was similar to Dead. You compared it to, not similar to, but you compared it to sort of almost Dead Rising.
Left 4 Dead, sort of that aspect of it, isn't it? With 4 players against the world.
Right. Okay.
This was
so Left 4 Dead or COD-ish kind of.
Yeah.
COD zombie sort of thing.
I mean, you see just the like complete assholery across the internet, and some of the comments are hilarious, and some of them are just proper douchey.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw with the flames that roared up with the announcement of the delay for Final Fantasy. 15.
Man, people have been going nuts.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Sorry, when we say people are going nuts, we're talking not just like, oh, I'm really annoyed about this game, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. It's not like they're just like giving somebody some abuse. They're not even aiming their rage at the right people, are they? They're just like...
It's just one of these sort of diarrhea, like, it puts me in mind of that old saying that if you give a room full of monkeys enough time, they could type out the works of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's almost like that, just typing any old bollocks.
Something's got to stick.
Yeah.
Something's got to stick. Yeah,
it's just why who cares?
Yeah. So all in all, it's just been a bit of an abysmal reaction to this delay. A bit like, come on guys, it's a delay. You know, none of us like it, but there's no need to start sending like death threats and shit. And calm down. Yeah.
Well, at least Jason Schreier obviously didn't get the same abuse he did when he, because it all broke in a funny way. Because the guy who broke the story got a lot of abuse as per usual, but obviously a la internet.
Even though he's just telling the story.
Yeah. What he's heard.
And
then this Kotaku, Jason Schreier, obviously he's spoken to one of his guys and he's confirmed or said the same thing, and then it's all a conspiracy and internet bollocks. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, look, I mean, that's the general shit that's been going on this week, but the big, hefty turd of shit which has been going on this week is in Cologne, Germany. It's been Gamescom. Yeah,
Gamescom trailers galore, and here's more and more of our games. We've seen more of South Park, 15-minute...
the fractured butthole.
Yeah, obviously For Honor. Basically, all of the games that were E3 have kind of featured again. Obviously, Forza Horizon 3.
Gamescom seems to do that. It seems to just flesh out all the E3 announcements.
Well, don't forget that it's open to the public.
Yeah.
So that's the big draw.
Yeah, because when did E3 sort of go? No, actually, we're just going back to press only.
It's always been a trade show.
What? Oh, something.
Yeah. No. It's that one's always been just the obviously press and the movers and the shakers.
Yeah. Don't know where they're moving. Don't know where
they did do this weird thing this year where there was just this crappy little. Like, you couldn't play any of the stuff that was inside, really.
You can look at it through this spy hole.
There's probably, monitors or something like that, or people just showing you pictures. Like, in that South Park episode where their internet goes offline.
Yeah.
And Randy's in the thing and the guy's drawing the pictures for him. He's like, click. It's like, I want to see it, and they're just showing you just pictures of it.
Yeah, click. Amazing. But, so... big announcements, big things we've seen. I mean, the one for me, the headline for me at Gamescom, was the rare, famous Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah, that featured a bit more
gameplay. What kind of feel did you get for it when you saw the gameplay? Because I didn't really jump out my seat when I saw it.
I just remember how much fun it was. Like, I was watching, obviously on a video earlier, wasn't we? And there was the guy you mentioned. It was the only thing that I said that was redeeming feature about Black Flag was the fact of missioning around and let's go stomp some people, let's go stomp some ships, let's go catch me some white whales.
Yeah, go for those monster galleons. And
yeah, exactly. That was brilliant fun. And I always said, how amazing would that be just with a bunch of mates to just... Yeah.
Sell the 7 seas.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. There's obviously, speaking of more betas, there's going to be a beta for that next year sometime, probably February.
I'm on that.
Definitely.
So reports of it have been very much of a Rare going back to their roots, sort of. This is people speaking highly of it.
Yeah, well, it's the Rare have always liked to make great games. I mean, all of the IPs that they've created themselves have been generally pretty good.
Yeah. And we mean from a solid gameplay point of view, not just it's a really nice premise, but they were solid games. You think Diddy Kong Racing and all.
If you've got like the Rare Replay on Xbox One, it's if you want to know where Rare come from, I'm like, you can go back to RC Pro-Am and all of that, and. There's some ridiculous games. Killer Instinct was brilliant.
Yeah,
I love that game.
So I mean, like
Donkey Kongs and moving forward and through with the Nintendo IPs and stuff.
So when you saw the gameplay trailer, is that you like, now I'm on it? I need this.
I was kind of like that when I saw it at E3. Obviously not last year, but the year before, when they just showed like the hunt. Yeah, it was just we'll run down there. There's the ship, missioning around on the ship.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. My only concern with this sort of stuff is that because Rare tend to walk a almost Nintendo Mario-esque childlike kind of graphically kind of feel and usually gameplay controls, I wonder if their golden days were like back when they were doing sort of the Golden Eyes and when they were doing like Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooies and that lot. Was it then, and everything kind of fitted for what consoles could do at the time. It was right, you're used to seeing a relatively sparse area. Because I looked at like Sea of Thieves and I was like, it looks relatively sparse. I get it, I like the graphical stuff, but it's not like a very graphically intensive and clever world with lots of like moving grass, which works really, shadow. It looks quite basic,
Yeah, but then. The only thing that I can hope from that is it's...
Runs smoothly.
But it's a bit more persistent as well. So there could be sort of an ever-changing, and you can shape the world as such.
Yeah, I mean, lots of high hopes for this game, isn't there?
There really is. But you were checking out some trailers for some really cool-looking stuff earlier.
Yeah, so, I mean, it almost felt like a little... indie selection, but it wasn't. But they didn't feel like massive, big.
It almost felt like
games,
stuff
that
was overshadowed at E3 because a lot of it was only a couple of months ago.
Yeah, so
it's stuff that would have been announced at E3,
but got sung by the bigger headlines.
Yeah. So whilst obviously they've got COD with the zombies and all of this blah 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 and Battlefield and blah blah blah. Yeah, these people are allowed to shine a bit more.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the first and probably the biggest ones that for me anyway, I think we were both looking at was Silence.
That was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, really, really pretty game. I mean, it's done by Daedalic Entertainment.
Yeah.
And the art style, to me, kind of almost reminiscent of a 3D Dragon's Crown. Do you remember the Vita game?
Yeah.
That side-scrolling beat 'em up with that amazing artwork. You know, you had all those rich colours and dark shading on it, but somehow they've made it 3D, and I found it really sort of, sucked you in and made you like want to
it did look
explore that
unbelievable.
world.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't really much in the way of what kind of game it was.
No.
I'm thinking more like, do you remember Brothers?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was something like that. Yeah,
very sort of similar in style, obviously, with the two siblings
but
sort of working in tandem.
I always bitch and moan about when people go, hey, this is our game, and you see a trailer and you don't see any gameplay, because it's like, I just want to know, I know you're pitching the idea, but I just want to know what the game's like. This was one of those instances where I just went, I don't care, that looks great.
Yeah.
And it kind of sold me.
I can't wait to watch that and see it all unfold.
Yeah, if somebody spent the time to be that creative with the art style alone, I'm interested. It's like things like Matsumasa and all those sort of
Muramasa, Demon Blade. Yeah. Well,
those sort of games, you see it visually and you're like, I just want to play it.
The remaster, the same studio they did in Odin. Obviously, it's the same people who do Dragon's Crown.
There we go.
It's that real sort of rich, hand painted style that looks just unbelievable.
Really, really good. So generally, just interested about Silence, see what happens.
Just want to see what it's a bit more about and gameplay.
And then a really interesting one for me, anyway, and I know you've been following this one a little bit, is Yooka-Laylee.
Well, it's that was the Platonic. Obviously, it's made up of various Rare alums. We was talking about the golden age of Rare, and also in the same respect with Yooka-Laylee, was this like are these games that they know and are kind of stuck in making, or is it something that nobody's been able to make a great one?
So they come back to show us how to do it.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah, because that premise of like, fuck these Kinect sport games. I'm going back to I'm out.
I want to use a controller. I like controllers. I don't like waving my fucking hands.
Right, what are we gonna make?
Banjo-Kazooie. Oh shit, we don't work there anymore.
Yooka-Laylee, whatever. Let's go, rock and roll. I don't know. I mean, so we looked at it. You were a little bit more positive on it. I was a little bit bitchy and moany, like me.
A lot of people backed it on Kickstarter though, because let's not forget, it got I think 2 million. It pretty much ripped through that.
I know it's whatever its target was. They smashed it majorly, like massively smashed it. But that's because there's lots of people who have that rare
Well, you know what Kickstarter is for a lot of games companies. This is to show investors.
Buy my game?
This is basically to show investors that people would pre-order this.
Because
they're exactly doing that.
Yeah, very much so. But so I watched this, and the reason why I was sitting there going me, bitching and moaning about it was because I looked at it and I thought, do you know what? I think this is a prime example of one of those games where you go, if this was a cartridge stuck in my Nintendo 64, I'd probably be like, this game's amazing.
Yeah.
But where we are now, I'm like is that a bit sparse? Is it a bit, is that model of gaming kind of a bit dated now? And you have to do something a bit more clever with it, sharpen up the controls maybe, because it looked all those big like dopey controls that you used to get on, big circles when you walk around. But I don't know. Did you not get that feel?
I think that the models looked really great. It did look a really great, rich, vibrant style, and it does, like you were saying, look like if you was to do HD remasters of the original stuff, like Banjo-Kazooie and stuff. That's what it would look like.
Yeah.
But again, I'm trying to sort of stay positive because it's
so pessimistic over here. I don't know why.
It's a new studio though, and it'd be great to see them like people that then make some great Rare games.
Yeah, I hope they.
Boys,
they get some momentum on it. So the other one which really caught both of our attention, I think, was like Shyness, the Lightning Kingdom, which it was almost, I wouldn't say Studio Ghibli, that's a bit hard.
No, it's very reminded me. Well, it's very much anime inspired. I mean, you can tell that from the art style and the shading.
I mean, was it the first main character they give you as a humanoid fox, basically, isn't it? So, but yeah, sort of 5 characters that you can play as. They said, that it is an right. First things first, I've got to say the trailer has got a guy who's narrating it. He's got a really weird voice.
I think it's a French studio, so it's a guy who's probably learnt. It's the best person there that can speak
so he's
English.
like immaculate English. He's just got a weird accent.
Right, probably, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I
wouldn't want to slander the guy or slate him at all.
But it was kind of like a Naruto-esque kind of game.
Well, it had that look to it.
And I think it also had that exploratory bit as well, where you're walking around. But they were saying it is an RPG, it is a combo fighter.
Well, it's got a bit more of a fighter mechanics.
Yeah.
To go alongside it.
They showed like the main character pulling out this rock off of his back and sort of using it as a paperweight and throwing it at people, but then quickly moved over to another character who's doing axe kicks and sort of slugging people and it looked pretty good for a second.
Yeah. I mean, I do love an RPG where you can go and collect gear and level up stuff and feel like you're always progressing and you're getting better. And like you say, it works within that anime sort of thing, doesn't it? Where you've got there's your story and you've got to get powerful because there's that guy
one guy
that did that thing, or he wants to do this thing that you don't want him to,
and he's ruling the world, and it's time for you to take his crown,
just to take him down.
Yeah, exactly.
Chinatown.
But did it interest you? Is it the kind of thing
that great? I'm really intrigued to see how it pans out with the gameplay, how sharp it is.
I always think it says a lot about what a game's going to be like when you compare what the game actually looks and plays like to the sort of the art styles that they put in things like the name of the title, how they display it to you, what in the sort of the designer's mind kind of is
how it's presented. The same way that you can get an ingredients to make a great cake, or you can just throw a load of ingredients on the plate. There's an egg and some flour and some butter and a stick of butter and just sprinkle it with sugar. There you go. There's your cake, bitch.
And they used an art style in the name, which kind of it felt very like Final Fantasy sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you then mix that with kind of like how the graphics were and the actual game was. It's like it looks like they're actually making an effort to try and make quite a good.
Well, it did look a good in-depth RPG with obviously magic attacks and different. Obviously, you can learn
different characters.
Exactly. So it does. Yeah, I'm really sort of intrigued by this one.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's definitely worth keeping on the radar.
Yeah, without a doubt. And then one which is probably near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, or at least will be. This is Thimbleweed Park, which is the game by Rod Gilbert.
Ron Gilbert, one of the co-creators of Monkey Island.
Oh yeah,
obviously we've also worked with Tim Schafer for Broken Age.
Yep.
So yeah, he's had a lot of experience, and it goes
following on, isn't he? Point and click yet again.
Yeah, and it looks exactly the same as one of his games did when it was a release.
Yeah, go on.
20 no, yeah. God, 20 years ago. Yeah.
And pixel art kind of thing that people they just want that experience. They want that point and click. We want to harken back to
the people.
What we remember.
Like you say, the people that were sort of 12, 10 kids that were into games back then are now 40, 30. So yeah.
I mean, put it this way. I looked at it and I thought immediately, it's a classic style game, presented classically, done by somebody who did the original stuff back in the day, which was great.
But is all properly narrated, and you can actually. There's no limitations as such in that. Obviously, the hard work that's needed to put in to make it work.
Does a game like this, when you see it, does it make you go, I'm instantly sold, or are you like or are you still going to look at? Do you still need to see a review for something like that and get somebody else's opinion on gameplay and such like? Because it's a point and click.
No, I say, point and clicks I've always sort of really enjoyed.
You just look at it as like who's doing the storyline, and surely that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm. It's not like, I mean, even Mashima. That was a really good one. There was that. The fucking one we had a couple of months back looked absolutely amazing. There was a third one of them. Basically, the guys that did Mashima.
It had some very difficult name that I can't remember. Yes,
but Pole something. Whatever, yeah,
and was on the PC and broke my heart that I was not going to be playing it.
Yeah.
That's some good reporting for you folks. We can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, but I haven't got that. It's not in this book.
Yeah,
I can't bother to look it up.
I've been through other books since then. But yeah, I mean, all in all, Thimbleweed Park for me, the second I saw it, I was like, sold. I'm in.
I mean, if you enjoyed Broken Age, it'd be the same kind of thing, obviously, but a bit more nostalgic and classic.
Loved Monkey Island, loved Broken Age, loved the Discworld point and clicks, you know, Noir and all that lot. All of that, just for me, that's some like solid storyline gaming, and that's kind of where things like Telltale are at now, isn't it? It's similar sort of premise.
That's it. It's, you can tell that they've the generation which it's come from. Obviously, they've always had controllers in mind for when they've made their games, whereas obviously the point and clicks, we've always had the mouse and the keyboard. So it's all good. I love those kind of games. Now, it's nice and slow paced.
Now I'm going to test you on this one, and I love testing you on it. It's always good putting people on the spot. We saw one last game, which was Blackwood Crossing, right? Can you tell me if you remembered anything from what we saw of the...
They were on a train. There was a kid, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, walked out into a corridor. There was a person that had a rabbit head, and it was in a dress. And then it went weird and disappeared. And then there was a kid looking out of the window, and it panned up, and it was a train going along on some tracks. And
then they replicated that loads to make loads of lines making a black circle and saying the title.
Yeah. So it was weird.
Good effort, because for me, I looked at it and I kind of went, okay. And then it was all about some kind of almost two people staying together after some sort of tragic event, maybe loss of a power. I don't know, it kind of had all of that. There was some sort of insinuation of something not quite right. And then into the middle of the train hallway, look down the road, down the hallway, and what do you find? It's the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland beckoning you one way, and I'm like, is this an Alice in Wonderland thing or what? I really didn't know what was going on. I know it's a teaser trailer, but I did kind of go, just hint a little bit more as to what.
It's one of those, it just tickles your intrigue.
Yeah.
You're like, I need to know more, and that. You're hooked.
I mean, they've done a good job, because next time there is another trailer for it, I'll be like, right, let's sell this shit. What was that about?
Yeah.
So you will look at it. So I guess it worked, but
you've got it's scent in your nose.
Just do yourself a favour, folks. Don't look at the Blackwood Crossing trailer now. Wait until you can find something which says Crossing Trailer 2. As soon as it's got the number 2, then that may give a bit more flavour. But we didn't really have a Scooby what that was about.
No, it was somewhat bizarre, but. It looked really interesting. The art's, like you say, how it looked. If that's actually sort of an in-game engine, there's going to be a really cool, could be a really creepy dark game.
Yeah.
But then there was also the one you was talking about earlier that had been renamed from
Hunger to
Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares, done by the people who did the PS Vita Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
That looks interesting, actually. It looks just graphically very pretty, but I did have to smile when I thought, why put little in the title again? You know, surely you need to move away from the word little now, unless you're trying to set up a little brand. But yeah, I mean, it looks interesting, worth a peruse. Did you see anything of anything new on Forza 3 from Gamescom? Because I haven't as of yet. I know they've done some more gameplay and such like, but there was nothing which kind of. Well, holy shit, they've done that.
Well, they've announced there's going to be like weekly challenges and stuff.
Yeah, but you kind of expect that nowadays on these sort of games, don't you?
Yeah.
If you picked up a Need for Speed and there wasn't like a race from here to here within this point, it's sort of available for a week, then...
Well, you've got them on the crew as well, isn't it? You've
got,
dailies, weeklies, and then monthlies, and
GTA.
Yeah.
Gotta do my dailies. But yeah, I mean, what did you reckon to it, Forza 3? I mean...
I'm pretty much sold on it. I do enjoy my Forza Horizon games.
Talk about Horizon, do we know when it's out? Or when it's released, I should say?
Forza Horizon 3?
Yeah.
21st of September. So it's a few weeks away, well, about a month away.
About a month away.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet, so there we are, folks. There's a load of different stuff this week. Obviously, we chucked out the format because we knew we just had loads of random titles to go through, which we did, so hope you all enjoyed it. Link, have you got any final thoughts for this week?
Not really.
No.
Basically, it was my final thoughts of, have I got any final thoughts?
That is our final thoughts. Have we got any final thoughts? And there it is. So, as always, folks, I'm going to ask that question, Link. From you, it's
goodbye.
And from me, it's guess I'm out as well. Peace.